Hi all, welcome back to the Final Whistle then for another match preview on the channel. And this weekend we head to the Den. Another tough test for Leicester. Millwall are playing well at the minute, and yeah, apparently it's a sellout, so it's going to be more intimidating the bloody better. I remember an FA Cup game where Ben Chilwell wouldn't even take a throw-in in front of them, so yeah, hopefully we can take throw-ins in corners and get the ball in, score goals. But no, another tough test for Leicester. We've got to be far better than we was against Hull. Millwall, Alex Neil's got them playing some good stuff. Ivanovic, we'll see a lot more about him at the weekend as well. Played at Leicester, looked out in the summer. We're going to be joined by Chris from Chat with Chaps. He's going to give me the lowdown on the Lions ahead of this one. Everyone get involved, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hello, Terry. Hello, Paul. Yeah, let's get into it then. Millwall match preview with me and Chris. Chris, how are we, mate?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm all right, and I appreciate it. I know we haven't chatted for a bit, have we? We've obviously went up since that point and obviously come back down. Now we're back in the same league again. How's things?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. So we haven't been up or down, and we've flirted with the playoffs many times since we spoke. And I would imagine we'd be there or thereabouts this season. But I think it's anyone's league this year. It's probably the most open I think it's ever been, and I'm sure we'll get into talk a bit about
that. Let everybody know where they can find you, Chris, and what you do regarding Millwall, mate.
Yeah, so thanks, Jack. So obviously the Chat with Chaps podcast, we can be found on YouTube, Spotify, X, Instagram, the like. We've been going about a year. We're doing well. Really appreciate all the support. And one other thing just to mention is everything that we make profit-wise all goes to cancer research. So even if you're a Leicester fan listening to this, please give us a like or subscribe because you'll be helping us towards a very important cause.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Let's talk about Millwall versus Leicester then. Tough game. We can't afford to go and play the way we did we did on Tuesday night. We ended up getting our arses handed to us in the first half, Chris, to be honest. Millwall, on the other hand, they won again. They seem to be on quite a good steady form going into this one. Leicester, we need to be far better than, better than what the first half we produced against Hull because it was shambolic. I know we picked for goal second half, but it just didn't look like we was ever going to get back in the game, to be fair. It just felt like the game had run its course with how we'd let ourselves get in them situations. But what is your initial thoughts ahead of this one in taking on Leicester?
I think my mind has been swayed literally in the last week or so because obviously you came down from the Premier League. A lot of very similar players to what you had in the Premier League. I think real lack of striker. I think is I'm sure we'll talk about my view on Leicester, but a real lack of central striker. I think for me, but in the last couple of games we have been brilliant. So I think for us, we felt as though we hadn't clicked yet. And whilst we were picking up results and we're in and around the top six, we hadn't played that well. And that's just me being really honest. We hadn't. But at home to West Brom and certainly at home to Stoke, where 2-0 flattered them, it could have been 3-4-5 against a side that were third in the table at the time. We looked really good at the minute. And we played, in my opinion, it was the best, our best performance in probably a couple of years, actually, against Stoke. I think the challenge for us, though, mate, is the amount of injuries we've got is quite frankly unprecedented. And I am just concerned. I'm just concerned that we won't be able to go again against you on Saturday after putting in a momentous shift against Stoke on Tuesday?
Well, we talk about bloody threats with Leicester. We ain't got a striker. It's like it's Casper the Ghost up front. We've got Daka, we've got Ayew, we've got Carranza, and we've scored 1 goal between them. And that sums it up, because when Jamie Vardy announced he were leaving the club at the end of last season, we'd have thought the club would have a plan to really go and eye up a striker and bring in the right striker to fit the mould. We haven't. We turned down a bid for Daka in the summer. He's on his last year, and it's like, get the money while you can in it. You know, Daka hasn't scored for Leicester in 320 days, by the way, so it doesn't really look like it caused you a threat either, to be honest, Chris. Jordan Ayew, we say he's a number 9, but he's all around the pitch. He's here, there, and everywhere. Just hasn't really got started yet. So it just feels like we are very much 10 men. It feels like everything we put forward goes to Abdul Fattah, who's a fantastic player, by the way. I do think he's too good for the Championship. I think he can play at the highest level. But this is it, where you keep playing that ball on that right-hand side, but then you're getting doubled up on, tripled up on, because they know where Leicester's going to go, because they've got nothing down the middle to produce for it. So against Hull, we were shocking. First half, got absolutely dominated, just too sloppy on the ball, just defensive errors once again, causing our own problems, which we have a lot this season. Most of the goals that we have conceded have been our own problem. But what's been your sort of thoughts, Chris, about the 3 teams have come down? Do you think it's a bit of arrogance from the 3 sides that have come down to say, yeah, well, we think we're too good for the Championship, you know, we'll win these games quite comfortably and we'll just turn up and take the points? Do you think that's how the teams have handled it so far? I know Leicester's been the better teams of the 3. Southampton and Ipswich, they seem to have really struggled, and Ipswich have apparently got the best team in the league.
Yeah, I think each of them are a slightly different story. I think Ipswich probably had the biggest turnover of players and a lot of changes, and I do think they'll come good. But I think if anyone's been a bit arrogant, it's probably been Ipswich, if I'm being honest. I think they've really underestimated teams. Charlton, you know, they're nothing special, but they're very well organised, very well drilled, will give everything. And they walked away with a 3-0 win on Tuesday. So that tells you we need to know there. I think Southampton have gone with this football manager style manager, right, in Will Still, and it just hasn't worked for them. And I'll be very surprised if he lasts the season. That was, in my opinion, that was only ever going to go one or two ways. They were either going to fly or they weren't. And then for you guys, I mean, being really candid with you, Jack, I just look at your club at the minute and it looks a bit of a mess. And that's just me being really honest.
I think you put that perfectly, to be honest.
One of my best friends is a Leicester fan, so I talk to him a lot. But with the financial situations you've got going on, the lack of striker that you brought in, and then you've got players that were in the Championship last time with you when you went up, you know, like the likes of Vestergaard at the back and Wout Faes. And I just get the impression that maybe some of your players, and you tell me, just not up for it. They're not up for the fight.
This is what I say with the players. We obviously keep changing manager, which obviously is no good, is it? We've had 3 managers in the last year. Marty's come in. He's had to change the real mentality, the real way of thinking of style of football and that, and really getting them players on board. But we had to sell a lot of players in the summer. Ndidi left, Connor Cody left, Matt Hermanson went. Obviously, Jamie Vardy did leave at the end of his contract, but we had to get a lot of big wages off the wage bill. And when you're paying big wages out, Chris, it becomes a problem. When you're sending more wages out than what you're bringing into the club in revenue, it's a problem. We've obviously got big problems off the pitch. Obviously, the chief executives left. I think with her, yes, there was little issues, but the big issues lie with the director of football, to be honest, and obviously the man at the top at this minute in time with how things have gone, and we've let them get this far. We've got players who have been massively declined for quite a while now. You look at Wout Faes, you look at Boubakary Samari, you look at Daka. Players who are just not good enough, you know, and they should be nowhere near the team, but they are. Luke Thomas, 4-year contract, the director of football gives that contract out, and it's like, okay, like they're making silly decisions. They're keeping players who are, you look at Daka and Samare, they're on big chunks of wages. They're out of contract in next summer. They had to be sold. And this is why we're in PSR mess, because we're handing out big, massive wages to bang average players.
What is the latest on that, Jack, in terms of because when I was talking to my friend, he was saying there could potentially be a points deduction at some point. When will that decision be made?
Well, the next few weeks, they'll start the court case of what it is.
Right.
And then we won't hear anything till later on in the season. But the thing is with football, Chris, you always want to find out before the start of the season, what you're dealing with.
Of course, yeah.
That going on, if we don't pick up enough points and then they say to Leicester, well, we'll give you 15 points and you probably only picked up 30 points, that's just crazy in itself, isn't it? Thinking, okay, then, well, we could be bloody near the relegation zone as soon as they take 15 points or whatever it is. But it's a tough scenario with the club. We've got a manager who paid his way to be here, who wants to work well and get this team back to the Premier League. But you've just got to trust the same players who have been the problem for some time, who keep putting in these poor performances, but they're still getting picked. And then they think, well, if I put in one bad performance like the one against Hull, I'll be picked. But then the manager's like, he's angry. But then he picked them players on Tuesday night, innit? It just felt like a lost cause on Tuesday night. If you look at the team sheet, you got Daka, you got Samare, Hamza Chowdhury's at right back. You've got
why didn't Ricardo play?
It's a crazy one, to be fair. I think your captain should play every game, and unless he's injured, then
good player at this level. I mean, I'd have him.
he's a fantastic player, Ricardo. I was surprised that he wouldn't play 2 games in 4 days. Obviously, he's not long come back from injury, but the thing is, your captain, you've got to be playing as most games as you can and keeping yourself fit if you haven't really done it in pre-season. So. It's Jordan James is not a number 10. We keep trying to play him in the number 10. It's like square pegs in round holes. I was surprised by the formation sort of switch and the team on Tuesday night, and it let us down. The manager got it wrong. We lost the game. We played badly in the first half. Aaron Ramsey comes on, changes the game. Jeremy Monga, fantastic player, but we only turned up for bloody 30 minutes in that second half, and it's just not good enough. It's not acceptable, is it, to be fair? And the fans made it their mission to let the manager know that you need to sort this out and this can't be happening.
Yeah. I mean, well, we shall see what team he picks on Saturday.
Yeah, well, this is what I said to my brother after the game. I said he's got some massive changes he needs to make at the weekend, some big changes. And if he doesn't make them and you only say it and not do it, actions speak louder than words in football, don't they, Chris? And it only goes so far.
Agreed, mate. Agreed. I think for us, we'll be looking to see whether we picked up at least one injury in the game, which was Will Smallbone. So he won't be available.
Is he at Millwall now? Is he?
Will Smallbone, yeah, he's with us, but he won't be available because he looked like he got a nasty one. So we can't pick the same 11, but the players were dead on their feet. So this is my concern. I genuinely, given your form, I think if we had a fully fit 11 players, I would be quite comfortable going into it. But I think where I'm concerned is I just don't think the players can go again. So we will have to rotate, which we've seen a lot of teams do.
Yeah.
And you'll be playing, in theory, your best 11 because you rested someone Tuesday. So...
It's doing a swap Daka for Aziz. Who's been your standout players this season, Chris? I know we spoke about Aziz. How good has he been for you guys?
Phenomenal. He's had a bit of an injury, but in the last 3 games which he's started, there's no coincidence that the last 3 games we've scored 7 goals and got 9 points. Right. In the 8 games before that, we scored 6. So a big uptick in the amount of chances created, scoring goals, and Femi Aziz has been pivotal to that. He is, I don't like to say it too loudly, but he's a complete forward, in my opinion, at this level. He's got pace, he can use both feet, he can cross, he can head, he's strong, difficult to knock off. yeah, the boys will kill me probably for just ranting about him because we want them to keep it on the down low.
I've got a Charlton mate who said Leicester are the worst team he's seen this season, even though they somehow nicked it 1-0.
Fatawu, wouldn't it though? This
Great player. This is it. The moment you need that
worldie.
one moment of brilliance, don't you, in the game? If it's 0-0, you need that type of player to step up and score the goals, and he's done that. And when he isn't doing that, you need other players to do it, don't you, to step up? And I think this is a real struggle with Leicester. Defensively, we ship goals. We've not conceded a lot of goals, but we are conceding goals we shouldn't be conceding in this league. But I do think the Championship's been tough. You look at what Alex has said, Charlton. Portsmouth was good against us second half. Wrexham picked up second half. This league can be unforgiving, can't it, Chris, if the mentality isn't right, you know. And I do really think it is one of them this year. You look at how tight it is. Coventry looked like they were running away with it. Middlesbrough obviously won again last night. Millwall sit third in the Championship. Stoke are up there. There's a lot of teams up there, and it makes, I guess, as a Championship fan, taken away from the both clubs, it's sort of nice to see. It's refreshing that, you know, they're not always the big clubs up there. It's nice to see that teams like your Millwalls and that are really competing. Yeah,
I mean, for me, I obviously have a point of view on parachute money because we've never had it. So, of course, I've got a point of view on that. So, for me, it is nice to see that, you know, the three sides that came down aren't in, you know, the top 4, 5, 6 or whatever. But I think you've got a rare one this season where the three teams that came up are also very competitive. Birmingham and Wrexham obviously spent big bucks. Charlton, I hate to say it because I can't stand them, but very, 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 very well organised. So you've kind of got this league just being sandwiched. It was close last season, but I think it's going to be even closer again this season.
I agree. Time for Jake Evans to be utilised. Yeah, we need to bring some of the young players in, to be fair. Some who'd actually put a shift in and do the work the bloody so-called experienced players aren't. Let's talk about Mihailo Ivanovic, one that Leicester was after in the summer. Some said it could have happened if we'd obviously sold Daka, but was there any close in it, Chris, with Ivanovic leaving Millwall in the summer?
I think if anyone had hit our valuation, I think he would have gone. Just being honest, I really do, because we paid what, 2.5 million for him, and I think our valuation was definitely at least 10. So you know, you quadruple your money in a season. It's not bad business. In terms of him ability-wise, I think he's good. But I do think that he kind of got overhyped a little bit. He has a lot of potential. You know, he's 20 years old. He is going to be some player. But in terms of where he is right now, you have to excuse my cat making as much noise as he possibly can whilst I'm talking. Thanks, mate. But I think that he's now signed a new deal.
Yeah.
So for me, he's only scored 1 goal this season, and up until he scored that goal, if I'm honest, he looked a complete and utter different player. I think his head was turned, or something was going on. But I'm hoping now we start to see the best of him. So you'll see him on Saturday because we don't have another fit striker, so he has to play.
Right.
So you'll see him, and it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on it in terms of where you think he is, but. Just bear in mind, he's 20, right? So he's still learning his trade.
He's probably scored more than what our strikers have recently, let's be fair, in a year. If we look at our strikers. No, to be fair, good striker. I think on his day, he's fantastic. He is a striker that I would have took in the summer. I sort of looked at his stats and that. Scored quite a few goals last season, and I'm thinking... maybe he might be that man we need as a number 9, but then you obviously don't go and sign him, do you? You end up putting Jordan Ayew as your number 9, and it's like, Jordan Ayew's never played as a striker before. Why are you even considering that? He never did it for Crystal Palace, and I'm thinking it's laughable. But
how old is he now as well?
I don't know, actually. Let me have a look.
It's got to be 32, 33, surely.
It's got to be around that mark. Jordan Ayew is 34.
There you go. I mean,
that's what I mean. A 34-year-old striker who's not a striker. It's laughable.
it's crazy. It really is crazy.
That's the decision making at the club, Chris. This is the thing with Leicester. You've got Daka who can't hit a barn door, and then we just run around like Casper the Ghost, and then we just run around with like playing with 10 men up front because we haven't got that. Marty likes to talk about creating chances, being good in the final third, but if you haven't got a striker to give the ball to, where's your goals going to come from?
Mm.
And this is why Fatawa's had to step up, and a lot of other players who have scored around the team and been sharing the goals.
Yeah, I was surprised you held on to him because I agree. I think he is. I think he's come out on social media and had a bit of a whinge, actually. So I'm sure he did an Instagram story where he was moaning about refs or something. So I can assure you on Saturday, we will make sure that he feels very, very welcomed. But for me, the first goal is vital because what we have found, and I know every team can say this, but I can assure you, the first goal for us is so crucial. If we don't get it, we look a completely different team than if we do. So, and I also think for you, if you go 1-0 down, I think some of your players will start to be like, not give up, but, you know, the atmosphere will pick up and all this sort of thing. So I honestly believe you couldn't get a more vital first goal than on Saturday.
Yeah, the first goal is crucial. If we turn up the way we turned up first half against Hull, Millwall are going to take a full advantage. Hull are like one of them teams where they get in our faces. Millwall are the same. Leicester don't like teams who get in their faces, Chris, and make it horrible for them. They like it too comfortable, Chris. They've not got that fight in them to go and do what other teams are doing. But this is the championship. This is the reality of it, boys. They're up for the fight. They're not here to make up the numbers. They're here to beat you if you're there for the taking. And this is what I've seen we are. We've got errors in us. I mean, if teams get it to us, we're there to be got at. The defence seems to open up quite too much. We seem to get counter-attacked quite a bit. Luke Thomas. I mean, who's your right-hand side?
Our right-hand side. So right back will probably be Ryan Leonard, who is... He's an older player, but he's very, very good in defensive one-on-ones. And then our right winger is Femi Aziz. So wherever your left back is, I can assure you, Luke just Thomas. Like our left back will have a torrid time on Saturday.
Yeah, Luke Thomas. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of them, isn't it? Where Fatawa's going to get it your fullback, and then you'll get it ours. But then yours would be more bloody easier to get it our fullback. So our player bloody loses the player. He don't look around enough. He's always out of position.
Yeah, I mean, we are factually the best pressing side in the league. So we're very good at that as long as we can maintain the intensity. Yeah. And we also have factually the lowest possession in the league. So I can just see giving you all the ball, you take the ball, you try and break us down, and then we'll just try and counter-attack you. That will be our style because I think we had 40% of the ball on Tuesday against Stoke and we destroyed them.
Yeah, I don't think Hull had much of the ball either when they played against us. I think we had a lot more against them. We have in every game this season. We've had a lot of possession, but I always say with Leicester, it's what you do in the final third that matters. You've got to be taking risks, aren't you, in front of goal. If you don't take your chances, you don't score, do you? This is it. And against Millwall, tough opposition. They've won their last 3 games. They beat Stoke, they beat QPR, they beat West Brom. I tell you what, you know, you and QPR have got a bit of thing in common this season where you both lost to Coventry by a big margin of scoring, and then you've all of a sudden gone on a run.
That's a really good point.
Winning every game after.
Coventry, I mean, best team I've seen this season by far, but they were just clinical. I think they had 4 shots on target and they scored all 4 against us. Similar against QPR, very, very clinical. I did tip them to win the league, so hopefully I'll win a lot of money. I had us to finish in the playoffs, so let's just see. But yeah, they're the standout side that I've seen so far this season, Coventry.
Leicester have got to turn up. We've got to we've got to bloody hold our own. We need to pick the right team, to be honest, first. We need to take a lot of them players out of that Tuesday game, out of the team, and not play them again. Jordan James has got to be more in that number 8 position next to Harry Winks. Harry Ramsey is a fantastic player as well. That trio is going to work a treat this season if we can get the right players around them. Abdul Fattah, we're Monga. I think we're sort of key on that wing again in what we do create. But then again, we need a number 9 and we haven't got one. So that's maybe where Millwall think, well, if we get on Jordan Ayew or a Patson Daka, because Daka's always on his arse. He can't stay on his feet. People call him Bambi on ice. Do you get what I mean? You get the ball and he just falls over and you think, are you all right, mate? Your bread and butter is to score goals. And you just...
Sorry, Jack, I was going to say, I've seen a lot of comments from your fans saying that he looks like he's won a competition. So he'll probably score a hat-trick now on Saturday. So famous last words.
I tell you what, I don't know if you'd have to worry about it, to be fair. Someone said that to me on Tuesday night before the game. I said, what do you think the score's going to be against Hull? They said, Daka was scoring hat-trick. Yeah. That never happened, did it? He didn't bloody look like close to scoring. It's just, we're so predictable, and when we do go long, people say, yes, but Daka chases the ball, he does this. But your bread and butter as a striker is not to chase the ball, is it, Chris? Your bread and butter is to score in front of goal. And if you can't do that, what kind of striker are you, really? You shouldn't be in the division, really, should you? Or even be a striker. You might as well go and sit on the bench and just feel sorry for yourself.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree.
Daka has a toxic relationship with the ball. Not good for a striker. But he's only scored 23 goals in 137 games for Leicester. 4 of them come in one game against Spartak Moscow 4 years ago.
Wow.
That's all I'm telling you. That's how bad it is with our strikers. We haven't got another Jamie Vardy. Because Jamie Vardy, you'd know what he's going to do. If he has one chance and he misses, he'll get that in the second. But it's a difficult pickle situation. But let's have a look at the table. 3rd versus 9th. You've got 20 points. We've got 17. Millwall have scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches. Millwall and Leicester, though, have not drawn any of their last 13 against each other. But we've drawn 5 of our last 7. So yeah, we like to be the draw specialist this season, Chris. Macaulay Lancaster.
7. Sorry, Jack. So that means obviously you lost the last game. So that means you've only won 1 in 7.
Yeah, we've won 1 in 7.
Bloody hell, I didn't know that.
You do know.
Yeah. They're for the taking.
Yeah, I'm hoping bloody Alex Neil ain't watching this when I start producing stats like that. Or maybe we'll make it 1 win in 8 for him. Macaulay Lancaster, the most shots on target per match for Millwall, 1.9 on average. Leicester have scored 7 in their last 5, haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches. So I don't expect us to keep a clean sheet Saturday. Julian Carranza has had the most shots on target per match for Leicester, 1.8. Well, then we talk about the head-to-head. Last time we played you, Chris, 9th of April, 2024, 1-0 win. That was a great goal, by the way. Was it Ryan Longman who scored the goal for you?
Yeah. Obviously now he plays at Wrexham.
By the way. Yeah. We just let you on to us, and then we was like, yeah, well, you take the shot on then. And then he put it top corner. I was like, no, where you get beat like that? And then Daka at the other end ended up putting it wide for a free header and missed the sitter.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, that was... I can't remember how we got on against your place, but I remember that game for sure.
Fiano Ballo. Who's that?
He is one to watch. So he's... Probably, I would say on Tuesday night, he gave the best individual performance of a player I've seen this season. So he is a lad, an Austrian lad, 23 years of age. We've got on loan from Wolfsberger with an option to buy. It's a bit weird, really, because he's not particularly. I don't think he's particularly quick. He's very slight, quite short.
Yeah,
but he's got everything. He seems to be able to. Some of his crossing and his vision was brilliant. He's got some engine on him. a lot of trickery. So he plays down the left-hand side for us. So it'd be up against your right back or your right wing back, whatever formation you decide to play.
Yeah, we usually play like inverted fullbacks. And this is where I think we struggle a lot more. Luke Thomas ain't an inverted left back. You can't play him there. You've got to sit him deep and not let him move at all up the pitch. You've got Ricardo, who can play as inverted. He can play in that extra midfield role if you need him. So that's quite good. But I think ahead of this game, I think we've got to play a 3-5-2 maybe. Play two strikers, three at the back. I think it worked a treat against Hull second half when he did change it to a three at the back. But you've got to have the right formula in having the right players for that system, haven't you, Chris? And this is where, with Marty, he plays a 4-2-3-1 at times, and it just isn't working for certain individuals who keep letting the team down. Last time Leicester won it, the Den, was the FA Cup. 3-2 win, and I think they're our recent 2 wins at the Den actually. The last win in the league for Leicester at Millwall was 1st of January 2014, a 3-1 win. Anthony Knockout scored. I tell you what, we need them sort of players in this team at the minute. You Nugent, your Knockouts. They was when we were good. Had a good championship side that year under Nigel Pearson, a manager who was very much no messing about. But we've had one win. We've had one win at the Den in the last, Jesus Christ, I don't know if it was won for a bit in the league at your place. It was always a struggle when we used to come to Millwall, because Millwall, very good, didn't it? Did you used to have Ross Wallace at your place and all?
No, Jed Wallace.
Jed Wallace, that's it. Yeah, another interesting player. He's now with, is it West Brom?
Yeah, he's their club captain at West Brom. He's been there last few years. I mean, he's getting on a bit, isn't he? So, but he always gets a mixed reception when he comes back to the Den for various reasons. So,
wow, that's bloody when our players leave and then they come back. Some of them weren't really the pleasing of players when we had them, but then some of them are good, aren't they? And then obviously when you always find though, Chris, when teams always come back to play, they always score.
Thankfully, Jed hasn't, but yes, normally, normally, yeah, normally, mate, normally.
Right, let's have a look at foot in both camps. I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's too small for you, to be fair, but yeah, I've got a few others. DJ Campbell, I mean, he was one of the worst strikers Leicester's had as well.
He weren't great for us.
Steve Claridge played for both clubs. Steve Claridge won the League Cup with Leicester under Martin O'Neill and that. Rab Douglas, Dion Dublin, Lloyd Dyer. I don't know how many players you've actually had permanent on here, Chris.
Lloyd Dyer was a weird one because he was so, well, from my perspective, he was so good for you.
Yeah.
But he was terrible for us. That's why I don't think we renewed his contract. It was such a weird one. Harry Kane, I see on that list.
Jesus Christ. He weren't great for you, were he?
Harry Kane? Yeah, he did well for us. Yeah.
He did?
Yeah. He scored, I think, 7 in 22 games. So, yeah, he did all right, to be fair.
Scored 2 for us. 2 goals. And then we could have signed him on permanent, but then Daniel Levy put a stop to it just before. Barry Ailes. I mean, we always sing a song about Barry Ailes. We all dream of a team of Barry Ailes. He weren't the quickest, was he? But I think his better days were when he were at Plymouth, Barry Ailes. He scored more goals then. You had Ben Marshall.
Good player.
David Martin.
Yep.
Danny Engesson. I mean, I remember when Danny Engesson scored against Leicester. Would have been the Seven era. So we're talking 2000 and probably been about 2011 when you played at Leicester at that time. Sean St. Ledger, Jordan Stewart, Martin Waghorn, Tony Warner.
Good old Denzel, yeah.
Bloody fair few. I think Tony Warner made his Leicester debut in League One, against Millwall. for Leicester in goal.
2008. Yeah, gee, he must have been getting on a bit.
Yeah. Let me have a look who else we've had. Where's that picture I've got?
Chris Wood stands out to me because
Chris
he
Wood,
was on loan with us, was unbelievable. We tried to sign him permanently, but you bid more than we could afford, and he went to you. It
Do you know what?
pains me.
He was a good championship striker, Chris Wood. I was surprised he sort of left Leicester when we had him. He did score some good goals for us, especially the one at Turf Moor against Burnley. Ben Thatcher played for both clubs, David Oldfield, and Dennis Wise. Do I dare mention that bloke's name? Leicester fans hate him. They hate Dennis Wise. Every time we see Dennis Wise, we've seen him at the bridge, Stamford Bridge last season, and they were calling him an anchor, basically. And they just hate him, Leicester. Just don't like him. I know you lot think different about Dennis Wise, don't you, Millwall? He did all right. He did all right for you lot.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he obviously got us to a cup final, and yeah, he did all right. To be fair, I think there's a little bit of ambiguity, I think, around his relationship with club legend Neil Harris, which I think is a bit iffy. But other than that, I think he's quite highly regarded, I suppose. Yeah, not as much as he is at Chelsea, I'm sure.
Chelsea, they're doing all right under Enzo Maresca, actually. Chris, what's your sort of thoughts out of this one, mate? Before we get on to team selection and score predictions, mate.
Do you want me to give a score prediction now, or
no? We'll do it after.
Okay. I think that it's a difficult one because, as I said earlier, just to repeat it, I think the first goal is vital. I really, really, really do, and I think that if we can get it, it's going to be near sellout. I just think that some of your players won't be up for the fight. I've seen a few fans already potentially calling for Marty's head or close to it. So, you know, from our perspective, can we get 3 wins in a week, 4 on a spin? And we like to beat teams that are supposedly better than us. That's our forte, right? So hence why we don't often lose to you. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll do a score prediction in a minute, but I'm still trying to work out in my head what I'm going to say because it is a head and a heart one here.
I think it's a tough game for us. We need to turn up. We need our main players in our actual positions. I'd like to see Ben Nelson play at the weekend, to be fair. And I think we've got to be far better. We've got to turn up with the right mentality. Big changes need to be made by the manager. Hopefully he does do that and not just say it. And, you know, the Den's a tough place to go. Can I sort of see a draw? I probably could, knowing us. Because that's how I sort of, every fan seems to think about us this season. We never really talk about winning games. It's always draw or... Yeah, we might not be good enough, but we have got to be good enough. It is going to be intimidating, isn't it, with you lot having a full sellout, and you lot are going to want to make it a real scrappy, battling game, and Leicester have got to be up for that battle against the Lions at the weekend. And if we're not, it could be very much the same game against Hull. We just need to stop Millwall with the press. And not allow them in our faces too much. Because this is what I find is the mentality. It's the mentality of we can't turn up thinking this is going to be a walk in the park like we have in some games this season. We actually need to go and if we do take the lead, then we've got to be able to kill the game. And if we can't kill the game, we give Millwall opportunities to get goals against us and probably end up beating us somewhere. So, yeah, the mentality is the main thing out of this one. We've got to be up for it, and if we aren't up for it, Millwall will punish us, to be fair. The big players are going to be key, Fatawu, Monga, Jordan James. And hopefully the defence don't go and make stupid challenges and fuck up, basically. Ivanovic, I think, is going to be crucial for you. I can see him scoring at the weekend. He's one that I like, and I would physically take at Leicester, probably in January, maybe, when we do physically need to go and buy a striker because we're desperate. So, yeah, Aziz, I've watched quite a bit of him this week. So, yeah, he's going to be one that's going to be a handful for us.
Big player.
And yeah, big game player. We need a win. We're desperate for points. And if we don't turn up, it could be a very long afternoon in East London at the weekend. So, Chris, what's your team selection? Do you think he'll make many changes in this game?
Yeah. By the way, never tell Millwall fan that they're in East London, South London. Just so you know.
I was in South London. Right.
East London is where our dear rivals West Ham reside. So in terms of team selection, so I think goalkeeper will be Max Crocombe, who, by the way, is a bit of a fairy tale. 4 years ago, he was playing National League, and he's now starting in the Championship. So he's a big one. So I think he'll play. I think the back four will be the same. So Ryan Leonard, Tristan Crammer, Jake Cooper, and Zach Sturge. Zach is the one that concerns me a little bit, not because he's not playing well, but he is 21 years of age, but he hasn't got many Championship games under his belt. And Fatawu is probably one of, if not the most dangerous wingers in the league. So that is a crucial one for me. Maybe Alex Neil brings the more experienced Joe Bryan back in. Don't know. Centre of the park, I think Billy Mitchell will return to the team. He was out ill. And I would
Billy
imagine
Mitchell off EastEnders, is it?
No, different Billy Mitchell.
Right.
And then depending who's fitter, it'd be either Casper Denora or Derek Mazusako partnering him. And then I think he will play. Ivanovic has to play up top, Ballo on the left, Aziz on the right, and number 10, I would imagine he'll play Luke Cundle because Will Smallbone's injured. So that's the team I reckon will play. The problem is, he's right. Mavididi, if he's back, he's a big player.
He's been very poor this season.
Has he?
Hasn't turned up at all.
Good player on his day.
Can be, yeah. But I always find with Steffi, he does too many step overs and he don't beat his man.
Yeah, I think Leonard's experience could be key there. So yeah, I think that's the 11. Again, for me, it's just a lot of those players have now played 2 lots of 90 minutes. Excuse me, in the last week, and it's just whether or not they can go again. To be honest, Jack.
Our team, I'd make a lot of changes. To be fair, Stolarczyk in goal. I think Fast and Vestergaard would probably keep the back two, but if I had to replace one of them, I tell you what, I'd like to see Ben Nelson and Caleb Okoli. It's centre-back partnerships. Luke Thomas will play at left-back because I don't think Christensen's going to be replacing him. Ricardo returns to right-back. Midfield 3, Winks, James and Ramsey. Fatawu and Jeremy Monga. Striker, oh my God. Bloody hell. Can we have Ivanovic for this game?
Absolutely not. We ain't got another one, so you can't.
That's all right. We'll leave you lot with 10 men. We'll put Alex Neil up front for you lot. No, I tell you what, I think he will go with Jordan Ayew as the number 9, if I had to pick any of them. Heard good things about Okoli from Sampdoria fans. Caleb Okoli's strong. He's good positionally and he's quick. The only thing he's not good at is his passing range. His passing range is diabolical. That's the only thing that's poor about him. Leonard was crucial against Mavididi. What do you think the score will be? I've got 2 scores in my mind. What about you, Chris?
I do as well, but I'm not gonna go with 2. I'll go with 1, and I think let me justify it first of all. I think given it's difficult for me to work out, were we that good on Tuesday? Because honestly, we looked like world beaters, or were Stoke that bad? And it's or did we make them bad? It's very difficult. So that's one point. The second point is, I think that, as I said, we might need to freshen the team up, which because of fitness. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then I think it also is key battles like Fatawu. So with all of that in mind, I will go with a 1-1 with Ivanovic to score against you. Am I happy with that? No. But would I have taken 7 points from the 3 games? Yes.
My heart says 2-1, but I think this could be a draw. 1-1. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw, or probably be 2-2. Which one do I go? 1-1 or 2-2? I'll tell you what, 1-1. A draw would be a win for both teams. I'll tell you what, we bloody need the points this time. I'm fed up of drawing, though. We've had 5 draws, Connor, in the last 7 games, mate. We've only won 1, so it's not good enough. Millwall 3, Leicester 1.
Love that, Carl.
I'll be leaving the ground if we concede 3 goals at the weekend.
Are you coming then, Jack?
I am. I'm down it there at the weekend. If you want to meet up pre-match, we'll have a chat. Are you going to the game?
I am, mate. Yeah. I'm actually. Millwall have, obviously all clubs do. We have like a executive day, right?
Right. Yeah,
so I'm treating Mrs. Chaps. What a lovely guy, right? What a lucky lady she is.
Lovely.
I'm treating her to executive experience at the Den on Saturday. So look forward to that.
I think last time I visited the Den, bloody Danny Dyer were there. I ended up meeting him. I said,
he's not a Millwall fan.
Doing it, bloody Millwall game. He's a West Ham fan.
Yeah, I know he is. I know.
That's one of them. But nah, Chris, all the best for the rest of the season after the weekend. Of course.
Yourself, mate.
And hopefully we'll catch up for the reverse fixture, mate. But no, everyone, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Hit the like button on both channels. We have both got it for Millwall fans and Leicester fans to watch it on both channels. Subscribe to both channels. Both channels do a lot of content for you lot. And we really try and put a lot of detail, a lot of stats into things. And Chris, give a shout out to Leicester fans, mate, about your channel as well.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Yeah, for those listening, so we're Chat with Chaps, as you can see on screen, on all of the normal socials. Obviously, that's our YouTube. And give us a subscribe. Everything we do goes to cancer research. So even if you can't stand Millwall, you know you're contributing to a good thing. So yeah, would appreciate just take the 30 seconds, please, to give us a subscribe. So thank you.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, Chris, mate, and
thanks for having me on, Jack.
All the best for the rest of the season until we meet again. That was Chris, Chat with Chaps. Great chat. Great analysis into Millwall. It makes it really even more intimidating ahead of the weekend with him saying it's going to be a sellout. And now, last time I watched a sellout at the Den, Ben Chilwell wouldn't take a throw in, for God's sake. So hopefully that's not the case of the weekend. But no, I really appreciate everyone coming in. Cheers, Ray. Cheers, Alex. Cheers, Gerard. Cheers, lads. Great show. Appreciate it. Championship predictions is back on the channel at 6 o'clock. So join us live for that. Match day vlog from Hull is also out. Hopefully I'll have more of a smile on my face at the weekend, and hopefully Leicester turn up and get the job done. But yeah, it's a tough game, but I'll be there for the match day vlog on Saturday, as well as I head to the Den for the game then. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day, whatever you're up to. Keep it at the final whistle, and I'll catch you soon. Up the Foxes.